Once upon a time, there were two brilliant women who got into technology. Each had fascinating and upstanding careers. But I took them away from all that, and now they work for Mobile Nations. My name is Renee, and they are the Girls Gone Gadget.
I just want to say that I'm nervous. This is the first time I think I've been nervous about something that I've done on camera in a long time. And I know where everyone's going to go with that, but just enough with the sex jokes.
I didn't even think that until you mentioned it. And now I'm
because they're boys in the chat room.
Are they boys in the chat room? Really?
I think so.
Well, I'm nervous too and so excited. I'm so excited. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm jazzed about this. And if you guys are nervous that we're going to talk about like cramps and the perfect shade of red lipstick, you are totally listening to the wrong podcast because we're not going to talk about that.
No,
we're going to talk about cool shit.
Yeah. And you wanted to talk a little bit about the Motorola Xoom 2.
Yeah, I'm curious about this because, okay, so I'll be the first one to admit I hate Motorola's designs. I think they're ugly.
It's the rounded kind of weird corners.
Yeah, well, I don't mind that so much because it reminds me of Battlestar Galactica. But it's not that. It's this it's like this really crazy, like, let's have robot fights, like advertising. And it shouldn't be that way. It should just be show the device, show the software, show the price, shut the fuck up. And I agree with Nathan Hosford, this guy in our chat. Wants to know why these companies release the product and never release the price. What's up with that?
Well, would it be that it's going to be too expensive and no one's going to purchase it? Or would it be because they're trying to make it cheaper and hope that no one gets scared away by the price?
Well, I think a little bit is, I agree with Seb and you in that they don't want to say the price because people are going to watch the commercial and go, I'm not fucking paying for that.
Because that is the only way that people have competed with the iPad is by, cutting down the price and making something that's amazingly cheap.
I have noticed because I got an iPad 2 when I started writing for G4. I started doing mobile games roundup, and you have to have an iPad to be able to write about that space because there are a lot of games that come out that are not available on Android. And so in getting both and having both and using both of the tablets, I have found that I am much more willing, and I don't know why this is, but I find that I'm much more willing to pay $5 or $7 or $10 for a game in the iPad App Store. But when I use my Android tablet, I find that I want stuff for cheap because usually I find that it's not optimized as well, and so I want to pay less for it. And I hate saying that, but that's just how my experience has been.
But would you buy, do you still buy as many applications, do you think, for both products? Or do you think that you would have more chance even, like, free is very salient, but say, like, if the 99-cent app is on either, would you feel any worse buying it on an Android product because you would expect that even at that price, it should be optimized the same?
It's really funny. When I got my iPad 2, I was, like, crucified for getting an iPad 2. And I think like a month and a half before I had changed my name on Twitter to my actual real name. And people freaked out because I was Android Ashley. But I think that a lot of people in the chat are talking about this too. And for me, I think, I can't use an iPhone. Like, it's not for me. Because I love widgets and I love the fact that Android is about the user and it's about how I need to use my phone. Like, that's exactly what I want. I can make it exactly what I need. And I can't do that on an iPhone. And I can't even get the weather to update. It's always 73 degrees in Cupertino or 72 or whatever. But
Well, it's funny how people become exactly that, though. They become so set into what they're going to use. In the end, you definitely get used to something and you feel comfortable with that. It's very funny that even when I wouldn't upgrade to, say, iOS 5, people got really angry because they expected something of me. And since I was not flowing with the pack, I got more hate mail for not upgrading than I did for jailbreaking. no matter what smartphone you use, there are definitely some things that you should do and some things you should not do when you are in the company of a significant other, like on a date.
That's true. There are things that you should and shouldn't do.
Now, is there anything that people do on a date that would bother you with their smartphone? Let's help some guys out.
Yeah, well, I think the obvious one is, I mean, I'm married, and I still get annoyed when my husband uses his phone to, like, check Twitter in the middle of dinner. And I'm a Twitter addict, like, absolute Twitter addict. But, like, it just seems like one of those things. Yeah, like Sam in our chat room is talking about, like, checking Twitter on a date. Like, don't fucking check Twitter, man. Like, it's just
checking Twitter on a date is worse than checking out another girl. It is. Ooh, it's worse than checking out another girl because these aren't even girls that you're checking out, or if it's the other way around, boys that you're checking out. This is like, the nameless masses. And that's so very rude. I would be quite insulted, I have to say.
Somebody brought up a really good point. They said that when someone in the chat room said when a girl laughs and is like texting, they think that they're talking shit about them. And that's a really good point. Like, you shouldn't do that. It's rude. It's horrible. It's really mean.
If you're gonna talk smack about your date, wait till after the date, please. You can still tweet it out. Just do it after.
Wait for them to and also don't wait for them to buy you dinner. Girls. This is something that really irritates me. I get annoyed. I have some friends. I live in LA, which is like the capital of shallowness. And I have some friends that are extremely horrible about, they just expect people to pay for dates. And it's like, you know what? No. You go in there and you bring your money and you take care of yourself and don't sit there and wait for your date to pay up, because it's mean. I find that very rude.
I have to say, I disagree. I think that on the first date, if the guy has invited you, he should pay. If I had to first date and the guy invited me out and he did not pay, there wouldn't be a second date. There wouldn't be a second date. I would pay for it. I wouldn't say anything. I would smile. I would thank him. But on the first date, I say the guy pays, or it's not my, that's just disrespectful, I think. I believe in a little bit of the old school kind of politeness. Yeah. And don't let your phone vibrate. It should be phone turned off and silence. Vibrate off too. And if the only way that you could get points is if you hear your phone ringing and say, I'm so very sorry, I'm going to turn this off because there's no way that I would want anyone to interrupt our date. That would be the only way that I would be like, okay, that gets back the points from having to deal with that. But don't answer. Even if it's your mom, don't answer.
Something you could do with technology, I would say, if you want to buy me a Galaxy Nexus and bring it on a date, I'm totally down for that. If you want to give it to me as a gift.
Bring tech gifts.
Girls, if you want to do the same for a guy that you're interested in, if you want to buy them a nice phone, totally good idea. I vote yes.
Kevin from Winnipeg asks a question.
Kevin from Winnipeg. That sounds familiar. I think I've met a Kevin from Winnipeg.
A little moment there. He says, how should guys wear their tech? If they wear it on their belt, is that cool? Should they have it in their pocket? Playbook on a gold chain, phone watches. What do you think is cool, and what do you think is completely not cool?
Okay, so I definitely think that the holster... Just stop it. So fucking lame. I'm sorry. And I say that my husband has a BlackBerry for work and he wears it on a holster, and I always laugh at him all the time. It is the lamest little thing I've ever seen. I'm like, if you're wearing a holster, there'd better be a gun in there. I mean that. You better be packing heat. Better some kind of Desert Eagle in a holster or something, a 6-shooter even. Just anything but a freaking BlackBerry. Just stop. No, BlackBerry holsters bad.
I absolutely agree. I think that having the little flipping it off, it's so retro. I would assume that you would have to be in your, I'm not going to give even an age. Maybe that's an older male thing to have it so it's quick and easy to get out. And maybe if you were a cop and you were fully loaded, I would be like, okay, that's not too bad to have your phone there. But if not, I believe in just carrying it in your front pocket, not your back pocket, because that just looks weird. And again, the back, you want it, that should look nice. But, front pocket, perfectly good. It should not be carried in a little pouch around your neck. No merces. I'm not into merces. It's not cool. We'll go away with that.
The merce, the man purse, not for Georgia. Take notes, guys. Take notes.
We also have some. Yeah.
I was going to say one last thing about this holster thing. The only excuses you get if you have a phone in a holster is if you are fucking Batman. I think we should talk about Scarlett Johansson because, number one, she's hot.
She is, and her picture was beautiful. And can I say, yes, okay, so fine, it was for her husband, Ryan Reynolds. I don't really care about that, but I have to say I loved her quote because, so fine, she gets caught, she gets these embarrassing pictures. She says they weren't for a porno, though there's nothing wrong with that. But what I loved was the self-esteem in saying, I know my best angles.
Yeah,
that's
she just came straight out and was like, I know I'm hot.
Yeah, you're right. I know that it was a good shot. I was proud of that. And I thought, that's sweet. If you're going to get caught, you might as well have to do it. So in the end, Scarlett's pictures were hacked from her phone. It was intended for an audience. And this was a hacker that has hacked up to, I don't know, like all of the stars, a whole bunch of people. I think it's like 150 different people that he's hacked. And then he puts all of the pictures onto the internet. So she was one of the ones that were caught. Did her phone get lost? No.
How many people in the chat room have seen this picture? Because they're seriously really good. Like, really good.
Oh, they're beautiful. She really does. She does justice to that, I have to say. And then I think Blake Lively then copied her kind of shot way.
Yeah, but if Scarlett I had to Johansson
pick
totally
Blake or Scarlett, who did it better?
Oh, it's got to be Scarlett.
Chat room? I say Scarlett also.
Yeah. What do you guys think? I'm very curious as to what the... Yeah, see, Scarlett. Yeah, Scarlett wins.
No one has said Blake obvious. Yet. I feel bad for Blake. It's okay. Yeah. Blake, you can do it again. Send it straight up to us, and we'll put you back in for another set of that.
Yeah, second tip of the night for dating. If you are going to send sex time pictures to anybody, I don't care if it's your husband, boyfriend, stranger, whatever you're into, that's totally fine with me. But if you're going to do that, get a good phone, because Scarlett Johansson, no offense to the BlackBerry users, but she's using a BlackBerry 9000, and what a shitty camera. What a shitty camera.
But okay, can I I'm going to retort a little bit to that. Actually, the iPhone, because the camera is so nice, the photos show a little bit too much. It's kind of taking a look at Brad Pitt, who I absolutely adore, but looking at him in Retina display or high def, it's a little bit too much information. I don't need to know his acne or any scars that he has. I don't want to see it. I like the illusion, the kind of, like, I actually say sometimes just like, breathe on the screen for a little bit first before you take the photo. It's a little bit too close. I don't need to
create your own blurry cam.
I don't need to see that Megan Fox actually has like hair coming out of his shoulders that's like sticking straight up and about the size of my fingers. That's not cool. That's not hot.
I think this is an excellent app idea. If I'm sure it's already been done, as they say. There's an app for that, but like a blurry cam like app that basically like sort of softens you up, makes you look like you're in standard def to hide all your imperfections. Like, people would enjoy that. So
okay, are we back? Are we back on?
You were never off. You just had to reload.
Can I show you my tech before I'm so excited. Can I show you one of my new toys? Don't do that to me, Ashley. Don't do it. I know. This is my new iHelicopter.
Oh,
and
it's so shiny.
Love it. There it is. Turning it on. And
you're going to fly it around in the middle of the show?
Yeah, I'm going to try.
Don't let it hit your face. Propellers are dangerous.
I know. I almost killed myself last time with it.
You're blinding everybody, Georgia. You're shining a laser into their face.
Okay, let's see if I can aim this and put it into the shot with one hand. I'm just hoping it flies.
I hope it flies too.
Okay,
if not, just throw it.
Yeah. Here, wait.
Yeah, Kevin.
There we go.
Kevin
It's
is
awesome.
saying he wants
It's very
anything,
cool, and it
anything
shoots,
with the bright
but-
LED gets his attention, and I think that he's like a little tech magpie. He's just
I got
anything
it.
That
It's
sparkles.
working.
Oh.
And wait. Woo! There we go. It shoots.
Oh, I'm
It
so
shoots
scared.
these little babies.
I'm scared that it's gonna come through my monitor and hit me in the face.
Yeah, here we go. I'm going to shoot again. I lost the other one. Sorry.
That is
So this is from iHelicopter, and it is just awesome. Like, I'll fly it around the room. I'll probably kill myself, but here we go.
Yeah, I'm really scared of it.
You should be. It really is actually kind of terrifying. Oh God!
She's breaking things.
You have a application pick.
I do. So usually, I review, for those of you who don't like follow me on Twitter and stuff, I review games for G4. I review mobile games. I do a little roundup every week on their website. And last week, my pick of the week was this game that I described as being developed on acid and LSD and mushrooms.
I like it already.
All at the same time. And it is called Whale Trail. And it's, well, let's see here. I've been enjoying it greatly. So you're basically a whale. And here's the music. Notice he said don't want to fail whale in there, which is awesome. And the music is really funny. Like, there's one point where you fly really high into the sky, and it's like, I can see my house from here. It's ridiculous. So you're a little whale, and you're flying in the sky, and you have to touch the screen and float around and avoid evil clouds. And I know it looks totally lame. Like, it looks like a game for little kids. But, okay, seriously, between you, me, and everybody, all 991 people in the chat room, get stoned and play this because it is awesome. Like,
is it better? It's better that way, is what you're saying.
Abso-fucking-lutely it is.
Here's me actually wearing my own mushroom hat. Wait a second. Here we go. I'm going to try to put that up. I hope it can be seen. There we go.
So if you're familiar with with Boston Dynamics, which they're working with the DARPA initiative. So they made this thing called Big Dog, and it was like a really horrible giant like thing that's meant to carry heavy loads across long distances. And now they have made this thing that is called Pet Man. And
this is scary.
So it's pretty much a Terminator. Like, let's just put it out there.
Yes, watching that walk freaked me out. I thought I need to get buckets of thermite just in case.
Yeah. So this thing is horrific, and you're watching it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Skynet makes it, JJ. You're probably right.
That is a T-1000 in the making for sure.
Yeah, they basically modeled it after Arnold Schwarzenegger, and yeah, I'm just horrified.
All the way down to the red shoes.
And yeah, totally. They're one of those like orthopedic corrective shoes. I'm not really sure what those are. All it needs is like Siri in about 5 years, and I'm scared for the human race. Like it's doing push-ups for crying out loud.
Yeah, and they say that it sweats. What's up with that? That's like, really?
Yeah.
That's just frightening. And the little red light and glowing chesty thing, I'm very frightening. There's something happening. And they say it's only to test out clothing. I'm like, they're going to spend $20 million to test out clothing.
Yeah, that seems like a completely reasonable reason to make a terrifying death robot to test out clothes. Totally.
And did you see the dog that they made before this? Big Dog.
Really, this was a few weeks back. We I used to do a show called Tech Life, and we covered that Big Dog, and it is, the way that it moves is really scary. It's extremely creepy. And
part dog, part spider robot.
Yeah. really gross. And yes, Georgia did say it does sweat, which is
it simulates breathing and sweat. And sweat. I have no clue how they make it sweat. It's a robot. That's just why.
I like this idea of let's put cyanogen mod on it. Can we do that? Can we like root it and put cyanogen mod on it? We need to do that.
They already have it set up for Siri, so.
Yeah. Oh, and somebody's asking in the chat, or Lenka's like, is it not cool to check your robot on a date? Dude, you could send your robot on the date for you. And it'd probably be really impressive. Be like, oh,
yeah, someone comes in with the robot, I'd be like, don't worry, you don't have to threaten me. You get a second date.
I think so. Yeah, I like that. Hand of Death's cool like, enough. Siri, please call in an airstrike to my position. Well, quite frankly, we're headed toward the first Cylon War. And I will be ready, but not if they look like Trisha Helfer. We can't stop the show. No, we cannot stop the show.
We can't yet?
Somebody said we need some BlackBerry love here.
Okay, let's do it.
And I'm going to talk about how much I love BlackBerry. Let's talk about BlackBerry.
Okay.
I love BlackBerry.
Wow, that was so great. Much. No, sorry.
I know. The silence. I love BlackBerry so much. I've never used it. That's how much I love BlackBerry. And I really, honestly, if you love BlackBerry, I'm really sorry. And I'm trying really hard to make an effort to learn more about it. And Kevin and the gang at Crackberry have made that very easy for me. And I have been really making an effort. So I'm trying.
Well, you know what? I went out on a limb and I said that the Playbook was going to be the largest contender to the iPad. And I loved the Playbook. Everything that they spoke about the Playbook made me so excited.
I know.
I was thrilled. And then it came out. And I'm just sad that they're not coming out with a secondary, better Playbook because right now I'm losing the bet.
Yeah, I know. And I saw it at CES and I was really excited about it. And I loved how it looked and the screen is beautiful.
But people, that use BlackBerries love their BlackBerries. They're absolutely thrilled with them.
I totally understand the love of the physical keyboard. And honestly, I don't think any company does a physical keyboard better. I had a Palm Pre when they came out, and it was between that and a BlackBerry. And I almost got the BlackBerry, but I liked the form factor of the Pre, and I loved WebOS. But I can totally get why people love BlackBerry phones. Like
I love physical keyboards. I know that my people are going to hate me for this, but I actually do love physical keyboards because I like to be able to type without looking, whereas on my iPhone, I can't actually do that. So I'm actually a fan of physical keyboards, though now I'm pretty quick. I type with one finger on my iPhone. I know that's sad.
Wow. You're like a henpecker. That makes me... I'm surprised. I'm really shocked.
I know. So I could do that. I could try out texting on a BlackBerry for sure quite easily. And they still have BBM.
It's really nice. It's really, really nice. Texting on a BlackBerry with, and I also get BBM. Like I understand that, but you're starting to see people like Apple come up with iMessage, which is very similar and similar enough to draw a civilian user, as it were, away from BlackBerry. So, and a lot of people are saying in the chat that BlackBerry is for messaging, and I don't disagree with that. I just think that absolutely Android is the customization OS, like 100%. Yeah.
Ashley, I think that is pretty good to go for our first
finished
show.
I'm so sad.
I am a little sad too.
Oh, I agree. We should have Miss Crackberry on as a guest one episode so she can fight with us.
I love it. Ashley, how can they find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Ashley Esqueda. And of course, you can always see me Monday mornings on Mobile Nation's Monday Brief, which goes out across all of the Mobile Nation's network. So you will not miss it no matter what operating system you love. And you can also check out my personal podcast, which has about 400 times the swearing and meanness that this podcast has. I'm filled with anger and venom. And it's called Tech Foolery.
Angry ball of hate.
Yeah, I'm a little angry ball of hate. And it's called Tech Foolery, and you can find that at techfoolery.tv.
You can find me on Twitter at Georgia Tippy and on Tippy.com for iPhone Live, iPad Live, Tippy TV, and Zen and Tech. You can reach all of us at Mobile Nations via email at podcast@tippy.com or leave a comment when the podcast goes live.
Yes, we will absolutely love you. And we're not sure about the schedule yet. We don't know if we're going to do this every week because Georgia's schedule is actually crazier than mine, which I didn't think was possible, but it is. And so I'm going to try my best to force Georgia to do the show as often as possible. But follow us on Twitter and we will let you know when we're on next.
And for all of the podcasts, including Mobile Nations, crapbaby.com, Android Central, iPhone Live, Iterate, and more, check out mobilenations.com/show.
And that's been Girls Gone Fucking Gadgets.